about another famous jazz musician. Actually, well, he is called the father of jazz. Why? Valery will tell us about this story.
So Louis Armstrong was born in New Orleans on the July 1900s. As you can see, he was nicknamed Satchmo or Paz because of his lips. His life was very difficult, and when his parents separated, it became even more difficult because he never was happy in his childhood because there was no food for him, and he lived in a very bad poverty, so it was really hard for him. But nevertheless, he had musical skills, and the most, I think, important thing that he was not educated at the musical school, but he revolutionized jazz. He gave the freedom to all jazz singers. He made them to improvisation, to sing songs like they wanted to. So he was a great artist. And in 1924 he moved to the New York, where he sang in an orchestra. And he improved his trumpet skills, making people happy. He did a good job. So I think he's great.
Okay, your questions.
How did Louis Armstrong influence on jazz?
Evolution jazz, he gave the rhythmic freedom to all artists. They didn't have to sing songs in a correct way. They chose the way they wanted to sing. So this is.
And one of his innovations was solo singing.
Yeah.
So they used to be choir singing, group singing, but
band singing, but he revolutionized jazz in the way that the only jazz singer can make a very good performance.
So he didn't have his own band?
He had two bands, Hot 5 and Hot 7 bands, but he started a soloist career also.
Okay, Alessa.
Do you think are his songs popular nowadays?
I think that his songs are eternal, like all jazz classic music at all.
Okay, so Masha.
What instrument did he play?
I think he played trumpet.
Trumpet, yes, trumpet.
Yeah, was his favorite.
So what about his family?
Oh, his parents were very poor. For example, his mother was a domestic servant, and when he was 5, they separated, and his life never in his one became even more difficult.
Okay, Katya, thank you, Katya.
How did he start playing and singing?
I think in New Orleans he heard a lot of street bands, like they played jazz or played some musical instrument, and they impressed him. They impressed him. Yeah, they influenced him in the way he liked this music and he wanted to perform.
Okay, so what about his children? I know that he had 3 children. So
Yeah.
what?
They all
about
became
their
jazz
lives?
singers, and I know that his grandson, I don't know his name, but he also sings jazz.
So all of them became artists. And famous Nancy. Well, I don't remember.
Nancy Sinatra is
Okay.
different kind.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
Well, how do you think his hard childhood influenced his music?
Oh. But
He
I
was
think,
in prison. Do you remember?
Yeah, he was in prison, and he was glad to be in this prison because
Why?
because in the prison
It's not very pleasant
he
place.
had food and he had the place to sleep. So
And instruments to play.
yeah, and
Yes,
instruments to play. That's why he had a lot of time to practice.
To practice. Okay, thank you. Your questions about Louis Armstrong, about his life, about his work in jazz bands. Okay, Danny.
How do you think his childhood influenced his music?
I know that he was in prison and he was glad to be there because he had food and he had the place to sleep, and he was able to play musical instruments. So he had a lot of time to practice and to improve his trumpet skills.
Okay, and
Does he have any children?
Yeah, he had 3 children who became well-known jazz musicians.
Tanya?
Did he have his own band?
Yeah, he had 2 of his bands, Hot 5 and Hot 7 bands. They're 2.
Okay, Katya?
How did he start playing and singing?
He started playing when he heard the street bands of New Orleans. They influenced him, so he wanted to practice his singing and playing musical instruments like trumpet. It was his favorite.
Okay, Alexa?
Do you think his songs popular nowadays?
Yes.
I think that they are eternal and they will be popular in all days.
And your last question, Ola?
Did he have a wife or his children from love at first?
Like I said, he had a wife and he had 3 children.
Okay, legal children. And now, thank you. No question. Thank you. So today we talked a lot about different jazz musicians. So we listened to their music, and now it's time for us to sing anything. Okay, so one of eternal songs by Louis Armstrong. First of all, there are some words before this song. You know that Louis Armstrong, he was very kind-hearted person. So although he was paying attention to these words, I hope that after this lesson you will stop for a while and you will pay attention to all beauties around us. Yes? Okay, so we would be sure that our world can still be wonderful. Okay, so... You know the words of this song? Okay, and imagine that you are a jazz singer. Trees so green, red roses too, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The sky so blue, and clouds so white, the bright blessed day, dark silent night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. People going by, I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do? They're really saying I love you. As your babies cry, I watch them go, and they're much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. after this lesson. Do what you love and you will be successful. Okay, so what have we learned? What information have we learned? What new have you learned after this lesson?
That Louis Armstrong is the father of all jazz.
Yes, okay. So what else, Ola?
And all jazz singer had difficult life, and but they
were talented.
were talented.
Yes. So they became successful and famous.
For example, I discovered for myself that such a great jazz singer like Django Reinhardt. I didn't know him before.
Okay, good. Nastya.
We've heard about Nina Simone.
For the first time, so you personally.
Yes,
And Alessa?
the original of jazz, where it
The origin of jazz, yes, the origin of jazz. Well, actually, nobody knows what it means, but what language does it come from?
It came from the. It comes from the West African language.
West African language, West African language. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Our lesson is over.